morning on this Friday morning. This is Your Morning Albany. I'm Julie Chapman. It is August 17th. Welcome to Byline. Competitive sports are fun because they're competitive and kids give it their all. But at what price? Last month, you may remember the High School Music Awards in the Capital Region at Proctor's, where they honored the best high school plays, actors, and actresses. Well, Voorheesville's production of Mary Poppins, a big winner. Take a look at the best actress being Mary Poppins. High limit, and that's exactly what this room is. If money is no object to you, then this is where you belong. Come on, let's go see how the other half lives. In just a few short hours, Albany's new fire chief will officially be sworn into office, and he's being welcomed with open arms. Let's go live to Jacqueline Kangro. She joins us with a preview. Jacqueline. A pit bull attacks an off-duty Albany County Sheriff's deputy, his canine partner, and his neighbor's dog while they were out on a walk in Colony. Now, here's the scene last night. The sheriff's office says the pit bull charged from a house and then attacked the neighbor's dog and then the deputy's dog. The canine handler pulled out his gun and did fire 2 shots at the pit bull, hitting the dog once. The dog was taken to an area veterinarian, while the police service dog was treated for an injured ear. At this time, we don't know the condition of the pit bull or the neighbor's dog. An Albany County Assistant District Attorney accused of working on criminal cases beyond his duties suddenly resigns. Investigators say Stephen Sharp, who is seen here, was doing freelance work with a defense attorney, Cheryl Coleman, on a number of high-profile cases. Well, during his time in the DA's office, Sharp prosecuted and won cases against some of Coleman's clients, including Edward Merrow, who was convicted of killing 2 women. Now, good news for Saratoga County. Nearly 100 new jobs are coming into the region. The governor's office announced that Plug Power will open up new manufacturing facilities right in Clifton Park. The new location will support increased hydrogen and fuel cell production for electric cars and trucks. The Latham-based company is investing nearly $2.8 million into the 38,000 square foot facility. In addition to the new jobs, Empire State Development will provide around $640,000 in performance-based tax credits. And when you head out to Dunkin' Donuts this morning to grab a cup of coffee, look up. You may be surprised at what you see. Let's go live to Tamani Woolley. She's at the Dunkin' Donuts on Washington Avenue in Albany. Tamani. Also this morning, a push to find pets forever homes this coming weekend. The nationwide pet adoption drive, Clear the Shelters, takes place tomorrow. Several local shelters are participating, including Mohawk Hudson Humane Society, Animal Protective Foundation, and Upstate Underdog Rescue. More than 150,000 pets have been adopted through this initiative since 2015. People within our community are making strides against breast cancer. The annual event kickoff took place last night, all in hope of raising awareness and money for breast cancer research. Now, people involved signed up their teams to start their fundraising efforts. It all leads up to the annual Breast Cancer Walk at Washington Park in October. And this event is more than just raising money, but touching the hearts of all of us in this community. And the goal this year, organizers are hoping to raise $715,000. The world saying goodbye to the Queen of Soul. Aretha Franklin lost her battle with pancreatic cancer yesterday at her home in Detroit. She was 76. At the time, Franklin was surrounded by family and close friends. She has quite the life to look back on. 44 Grammy nominations and 18 wins. She also performed at 3 presidential inaugurations, Jimmy Carter's, Bill Clinton's, and Barack Obama's. The Queen of Soul also made a stop right here in the Capital Region not too long ago. She performed at RPI in 2009 in celebration of the school's president. And that president is remembering her, Shirley Ann Jackson, saying that she was, quote, down to earth for being so accomplished and so famous. Now, it's always nice to see students performing for our local nursing home residents. Well, they're great. Well, the students from the music studio in Albany visited nursing homes to perform scenes from Cinderella. They wanted to show off what they learned this summer and share their passion for music.
So we come here every year to bring smiles to the residents so that they can be happy. And we really like putting on the show for them. And we practice and practice so we can make them happy. Well, right after the performance, the students handed out cards actually thanking the residents
for allowing them to perform. So sweet. Well, if you live in the village of Green Island, there's a brand new playground you may want to check out today if you have some time. The playground at Payne Street Park is officially opening today. The new playground was built using a $125,000 legislative initiative grant. It replaces the one which used to be there. That was there since 1993. So head on over around 11 o'clock this morning and you can enjoy the swings and the slides. Well, one Saratoga-based organization is doing its part to help both our veterans and retired thoroughbreds. Let's go live to Dan at the Saratoga Racecourse to tell us about this special program. Dan. An estimated 36 million kids in the United States play competitive sports, and kids love them. Sports make them fit, strong, and healthy. They also build confidence, teach discipline, and encourage teamwork. But with physicality comes injury. More than 3 million kids are taken out of their favorite sport in an average year. Welcome to Byline. Competitive sports are fun because they're competitive and kids give it their all. But at what price? Over the next half hour, we examine an injury that's becoming all too common in young girls: concussions. We'll hear from a medical expert about why this is happening. We'll talk one-on-one with U.S. women's soccer pro Megan Rapinoe about her biggest concern. And we'll catch up with a coach doing all he can to protect his young players. We begin with a teenage girl who, after suffering repeat concussions, has some tough decisions to make.
As soon as I got hit, I knew I was done.
I watched my daughter just crumble to the ground, and she was out.
Youth soccer. It's one of the most popular sports in America. More than 3 million kids play in competitive soccer clubs, with the majority of those players in northeastern states, including New York. Statistics show participation is split almost equally between boys and girls, but those same statistics also show a disturbing disparity. Middle and high school girls are getting concussions at almost twice the rate as boys.
This is my team picture from a couple years ago. And this is a picture for our school team with our senior, Hannah Loader, who is now at Syracuse.
Libby Harris is 14, a 9th grade honor student who has played competitive soccer most of her life.
These are from like earlier years. This is from 2007. And then this is when we got second place in CDYSL.
Tournament trophies and medals fill her bedroom shelves. She's a talented player who loves the game's fast pace, the pressure to score, and team friendships.
We're really close-knit and we never want to let each other down. So as soon as it starts to get physical, you just have to put it all out there. At practice, we work so hard. The intensity always has to be there. I love soccer. It's always been like really good for me just to get out there and do something different. And not having that in my life would be really tough.
Well, the last few months for Libby have been tough. She's been sidelined from the game and even forced to miss school. During a competitive match with a rival team, she was slammed in the head by a ball that came from a powerful kick just feet away.
When I got hit in the head, it was like black, but I do remember falling to the ground. But as soon as I got up, everything was blurry. Everything made me feel sick to my stomach.
Did you know something serious had happened?
Yes. I don't really remember a lot of it, but I was right next to like my coach, and he was really helpful with like kind of testing me to see if I had a concussion, and I felt really dizzy and sick like the whole rest of the day.
What do you have to study tonight?
Libby's mom, Maureen, saw it happen.
I watched my daughter just crumble to the ground, and she was out. And we brought her home, and I could tell right away it was serious.
The doctor diagnosed Libby with a debilitating concussion, which took her out of sports and school.
It's really frustrating, especially after the fact when I still felt sick, like nauseous, like I was gonna throw up, like 3 days after, and then the constant headaches during school was really tough. I had no idea what a concussion was. So definitely getting that, I was definitely scared. And I think other people around me were scared for me too.
I felt sick. I had expected knee injuries and ankle injuries and wrist injuries, but I never expected an internal head injury.
And that kind of knocked her out of her life for about 2 weeks?
Oh, more than that. She was out of the game, out of sports, and she couldn't return to school the rest of the year. We see girls almost every game getting injured. They're heading the ball, or they take an elbow to the head, or they are kicked by a ball. And you see it, and they may not be my daughter or my teammates or her teammates, but it's somebody's daughter and somebody's teammate, and it's frightening how often, and actually how commonplace it is now. It's very physical, and it's turning into, I think, more of a physical game for the girls than maybe even for the boys.
The American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons' latest study on youth sports shows high school girls in soccer are at the highest risk for concussions. The study documented roughly 40,000 injuries over a 10-year period in all high school athletes. More than 6,000 of those injuries were concussions. For the first time, though, girls' soccer concussions beat out every other sport, including boys' football. Coming up.
A lot of concussions probably go sort of undocumented or unnoticed. I think it's something we need to take extremely serious, especially in young kids.
Hi, I'm Julie Chapman, and I love being a soccer mom. My kids are in competitive soccer year-round because this sport is all about overall fitness. It's about running and stamina and strength. And what's also great about soccer is it's a team sport. So it's camaraderie and friendship, and these kids actually inspire one another. So if you have a child with a lot of energy, consider soccer. You'll love being a soccer mom or dad.
We're all encouraged to do something kind for someone else, just something nice. We're asked to do this today in memory of a Ballston Spa man whose birthday is today. His family, though, is turning their heartbreak into a local movement to get all of us to just be a little more aware of one another. I recently caught up with the Colemans.
Do you remember where this one was?
No.
Georgia. Yeah.
That's fine.
You know this one. That's Christmas, and this was our birthday.
That was your birthday, yeah.
Yep. And this one was easy.
Now he's got glasses, so.
For Mary Jean Coleman and her daughter Brittany, the month of August is always tough. Mary Jean's son Tom should be celebrating his 35th birthday.
August 14th was an incredibly special day in our family. Tom was a twin. He was born on my birthday. So it was always just a big celebration in our home.
Tom struggled with depression most of his life. He died of a heroin overdose.
We looked in his wallet, and there was actually $33 in the wallet. He was 33 years old when he died.
This coincidence is what helped this Ballston Spa family turn their immense grief into good.
We put the bills inside ponchos, and we gave them randomly, just little random acts of kindness to folks that looked like they could use it.
So I said, why not turn this into something nice that I could do for others, because my brother Tom was a very, kind person and everything.
So that's when Brittany created the social media pages #BrighterForTomorrow, encouraging all of us to do something, anything, to simply brighten someone else's day in memory of her brother.
This is Christmas, a few years before he died.
She says that's what he did in his life. He was loving and smart, but first and foremost, he was kind.
I don't really want people to remember him for the way in which he died. I'd rather them, bring his name up and kind of person he was.
And they want people to know that the random acts of kindness can be small, something as simple as holding the door for someone or leaving a surprise on a car.
I started buying scratch-offs and leaving them on people's cars with a little note.
Besides spreading kindness, they also hope this movement helps erase stigma by getting more of us to candidly talk about depression and drug addiction. Mary Jean has worked in mental health services most of her life. She wants people to know they're not alone in this epidemic.
We want the world to know that there are people who struggle, that their struggles lead to a drug addiction, and they don't have family members that don't care.
And honest conversations with people who are living these things. And I think that's where the hope is. We change the future.
Well, you can find hashtag Brighter for Tomorrow pages on both Facebook and Instagram. The emphasis on Tom. The family wants you to post your random acts of kindness, given or received, not just today, but every day on those pages. And hopefully your kindness will inspire others to join in. Last month, you may remember the High School Music Awards in the Capital Region at Proctor's, where they honored the best high school plays, actors, and actresses. Well, Voorheesville's production of Mary Poppins, a big winner. Take a look at the best actress being Mary Poppins.
You won't know a challenge until you've met it. No one does it for you, no one but yourself.
She actually won Best Actress and went on to a national competition in New York City. So let's welcome in Janie Parmenter and Carl Treber. He actually played Bert. He was also nominated in the Capital Region as Best Actor for Mary Poppins. They've been together in plays for a long time. We're so happy to have you both.
Thank you.
All right, Janie, tell us about the experience in New York City. After winning the Capital Region's Best Actress, you went to a national competition, Jimmy Awards.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Okay, so basically it's a week-long intensive program. We are coached by professionals, and you work with a bunch of incredible people who are just as talented, and it was a really great experience getting to know them and just kind of understand and figure out what the sort of Broadway vibe is, I guess. It was very intense, very exhausting, but a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Absolutely. They performed in the Minskoff Theater. Carl, let's talk to you. This is the first time that there's been a Capital Region Tony Awards, so to speak. What was that like? It must have been nerve-wracking each performance, not knowing if the judges were there.
Right. That was definitely the most nerve-wracking experience. Was we would be backstage at our production, kind of speculating, like, are the judges here? What night are they going to show up to? Because they would come to our production and adjudicate us and decide if we were nominated for awards.
And you were nominated for a bunch.
Right.
Yeah.
Luckily, I guess we were nominated for 9 out of the 10 awards that we could have been. We walked away with 3 in the Capital Region competition. But yeah, it was, again, very valuable to be, Proctor's was a week of rehearsal as well, a couple days, and then you put on the awards show. But it was cool to be able to link up with all the other students from the different schools in the area.
What a great experience.
Yeah.
Let's talk about arts. Usually when school districts have to talk about making cuts, the arts programs always pop up. From a student perspective, talk about that and how important it is.
Oh, it's incredibly important. It's definitely one of those unifying things that just brings a lot of cultures and people together.
Yeah, we think that it's important that we give artists and performers the same opportunities to succeed as we give athletes and academics. And we think that for us both, arts have been kind of a good form of self-expression, which we think is also important to have in schools.
You know, in Voorheesville, Janie and Carl have been best friends for a long time. They've been in a lot of productions together over the years. It brought not only your group close together, but a lot of these drama clubs, they form a little bit of a club and a friendship, and it's very familial.
Yes,
Absolutely,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, before we both let you go, you're incredibly talented. We want to know what your futures hold. They both are graduates of Voorheesville High School. They're both incredibly smart. Where are you going? What are you doing? Hopefully you're staying in drama in some regard.
Yes, I'm going to the University of Vermont, and I'm going to study music education, and hopefully, if I have room in my schedule, I will do a minor in theater.
I'm attending SUNY Geneseo next year. I am not sure what I want to do that much, but I definitely want to keep the arts in my life.
All right, well, we wish you both the best of luck. You're both incredibly talented, and we look forward to big things in the future.
Thank
Janie
you.
Parmenter, Carl Treber of the Voorheesville Drama Club. If you'd like more information on arts programs or to see their drama production, you can always Google Voorheesville High School.